Okay, so if we look here, we have a double number line on example 1. And all a double number line shows is a rate, okay? The top number line relates to whatever units on the top. So our top number line here relates to meters, okay? And this bottom number line relates to the time in this case, or seconds, okay? So the numbers are always corresponding with each other, and each number is related to the various unit. Okay, so if we're asked to write a rate from this double number line, I can pick any of these lines on this number line, and with the exception of 0, 0, and I'll talk about that at the end of this example. So if I pick the first line here, oops, sorry about that, which is 115. Let me go ahead and circle that. I can write a rate from that line, okay? The 100 relates to meters, remember, because it's the top, and the 15 relates to seconds. So this rate would be 100 meters in 15 seconds. Okay? There's one rate that I got from the double number line. Another rate I could pick is any of the other lines. So let's go ahead and say we picked 460. In this case, again, now the 400 relates to the meters and the 60 relates to the seconds. So my rate could be 400 meters in 60 seconds. Okay? And I go ahead and label. I make sure when I'm doing a rate that I label both the units because it is a rate. It's not comparing the same unit, so I have to make sure I label each of them. Whenever you're asked to write a rate, you need to have a label after each number. When I ask you to write a ratio, you may not need to write the unit because they're asking you to write the ratio in a certain order. Okay? So I could have also picked 230, and I would have written 200 meters in 30 seconds. If I would have picked 345, I would have written 300 meters in 45 seconds, or the 575, which would be 500 meters in 75 seconds. Now, why would I not pick the 0 and the 0? Well, 0 meters in 0 seconds doesn't make this rate unique, and so I would never use the 0, 0 to write a rate, because it's not going to be anything different. It doesn't tell me how fast and how far their particular rate is moving. And so because of that, I will not use the 0, 0. It's not distinguishing it based off of the speed or anything. So I would pick any of the other dashes along this double number line. And if I wanted to extend it, I could actually extend it as well. All right, that is example 1 with our rate. If I wanted to continue on to look at example 2, they're asking me now to write a unit rate. Now remember back to yesterday, unit rate is an amount per 1. So if they're telling me that Earth is spinning 3 miles in 10 seconds, oops, sorry about that. Okay. 3 miles in 10 seconds, that is currently our rate. However, the second number is the second number in this case is 10 seconds. And because it's a 10 seconds, okay, sorry about those interruptions. Okay, so we have 3 miles in 10 seconds, and this is a rate because it's comparing miles with seconds. However, it's not a unit rate because it's a number compared to another number. And our goal is to compare a number to 1, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and write 3 miles. Actually, we're going to go ahead and make a table out of this. We have our miles and our seconds. Okay? We know that 3 matches with the miles and 10 matches with the seconds. I don't want my seconds to be 10 though. I want my seconds to be 1. So in my ratio table, I'm going to automatically make my seconds 1. And this is where we can go ahead and use our ratio table to write a unit rate. So what did I do to get from 1 to 10? I draw my arrow, and yes, we divided by 10. So what are we going to do to the 3? We're going to go ahead and divide by 10. And 3 divided by 10, you can either write it as a fraction of 3/10, or you can write it as a decimal of 3/10. And when I write my unit rate, I then write 3/10 miles per second. And I have just written my unit rate. And I go ahead and circle it, and there is my unit rate. It's an amount, the 3/10 per 1, which in this case is seconds. So whatever you're writing a unit rate, you are simply dividing the numerator or the first number by the second number to make it so it's 1 as your denominator.